Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. I'm a bit late today starting a video. I'm using coffee filters again, and I've taken one of these and I've put it through a script embossing folder, and I've got this come out. Now I'm going to fold back here only a little bit like that, and then the same this side, so that there's this piece that's straight down the bottom there. Do that. It is quite fragile, and you need to just pull that open to open it up there, which will make your pocket. And take your glue, which is all stuck up in my case, and I'm going to glue this down completely down here. So I hope you're all well. Very windy today, but better than the rain we've been having. As I've said, we are back to a bit more Spanish sun. And then I'm going to make this side into a pocket, so you pin this pocket into a journal, just a shallow pocket like that. There. And also this piece here, I'm going to glue that down as well, and the same on this side. I will glue this down here. You see that piece you have there, so that this now gives you a pocket here. Now the next thing is I'm going to use a bit of gesso on the front here. First of all though, actually before I do the gesso, is I'm just going to ink round. Haven't got a lot going on really at the moment. Now I'm going to take this and just gently, where it's raised, is just go over with, this is vintage photo I'm using, and I've got a new one. I gave up with that refill. It just, I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Not that I can see how you can do it wrong, but maybe I am. Okay, so we now have that like that, and I'm going to get some gesso, and using my finger I will put some, I forgot to get a wet wipe out, because whenever I put my finger in I always do too much or not enough, and then you end up with a blob. And just run it over like this. And now I've just got to dry that off, and then I'm going to, no, not that, I need some book page. So I have this dictionary here, Latin Spanish dictionary. Oh, that might work. No, it's a little bit too short. No. I need it to wrap around. Where's my pocket? There, that side. I might have pulled that off too far. That's better. I need a bigger bit, and I like that edge. So I will just take this off here. Yeah. And go to about there. That's the rough edge. Actually, I will do it that way round, because I want to put this here, and then I'm going to wrap that round onto the side there. Just take that piece off. This piece I will cut. So I just need to glue them down. This piece. Now, I did get a bit worried about doing this because I noticed that it's showing through, but it does dry, so we're okay. And I'll just take this off the side here. There. Just ink down there as well. So that's like that. And then I want a piece of this card so that it goes in the middle. So bring that down a bit. About there. And I will use this to tear this strip off. And I'm just going to put that across there. Let's do it this way round. Cut that off and ink round this. And again, put this down on here. So that's stuck on there. Just ink the sides again where I've cut it off there. Next thing is I've got a bow I've made with some string that I'm going to glue there. Oh, look at the bubble coming up in my glue. And gesso on. So I'm putting some glue down on here for this. Bring that round to the front of it. Like that. And I also have, a friend of mine cleared out her craft room and she gave me these. So I thought these would look quite nice on here. Now they do get a bit raised because obviously the bow is quite high, but they do stick. And I will show you another type that I have made once I finish this. Oh, I don't know if you can see there, but it does stay on there. And then what I've got, while that's drying, I'll put that aside I've got a couple of tags. Now, again, this is all using things I've got in my stash. I really am trying this year to use all this up. And what I've got here is some, oops, I've got some stickers, lots of stickers in fact. And maybe that would look quite nice on there. Yeah, I like that. I'll put that on there. Now these come from, I want to say Artie Mays, but it might be Love Junk Journals. I can't remember, or even Yvonne Preston. No, I think these are Artie Mays. I will try and find them if I can. Now I want this up the top here. There. So we'll put that one on there. Then I have, oh, I'm going to put that one on there. I've inked around these and I've already backed them. So I'm just doing something simple like this. And maybe, yep, you've guessed it, a little, it's a bit big, isn't it? A little Love Junk Journals label can go on here. Like that. And then I tell you what I have got that I'd forgotten about as well. Perhaps what I can use is these. These are tear sheets from Raindrop Lila, and I keep forgetting I've got them. There, I like that. I think you'll be seeing more of these. I do like these, but as I say, I discovered them. Well, I discovered them, I'd bought them, and I'd never printed them off. How many kits do we buy that we do that with? I'm not one for printing off. I used to print off straight away, but I've kind of stopped that now because I found I'd had paper galore everywhere. So now, oh, it's really blowing up out there at the moment. So now I'm trying not to print them, but as a consequence, I have occasions like this where I forget I've got something. So, and these tags I've had for a few years as well. And what I want to put in these is some twine here. So they've got their twine in and they go in here so that they just poke out the top. And then in the back here, I want something down there, a flower of some sort. So I have these from My Porch Prints. Right. So these, where are we? These flowers I did get recently because I had Roxy flowers, which I was sticking to, but she didn't have any roses. And then I hadn't found that Ginger Journals roses by then. That I found, again, another one of the ones I'd bought and not printed. I'm just going to put that on there because this is going to be our pocket. and take that off. Okay, and then I've got a calling card I was going to put in there. Again, these are from, who are these from? Blossom Art calling cards. This one. Will it fit? Yeah. I'll just ink around this. Okay, what I suddenly remembered, I've got Sam Paul's signatures from the past too, and with a calling card we should have a name. Oh, sorry about the noise, what do you think? I like that. So I'm just going to put that in there. So that's going to have a name on. Oh. Okay, so this you would clip into a journal. Sorry about that. That was the other half ringing. He's on his way home to let me know. I just said to him, you ruined a video. Anyway, that's one pocket I've done. I also did it as well here, same one, with two different journal cards in. But this time I glued both sides down here, so this would actually glue onto a page. And if you glued it down here and here, you could in fact have a pocket behind there as well. So this one can clip in because it'll have a small pocket at the back, and this one can be glued in. And so for my next pocket I'm going to be using the whole width of the coffee filter. And I'm also using some fabric that I brought back a couple of years ago from Dubai when I was there visiting my son. And it's this lovely sort of brown tulle with all this embroidery on. And you're just going to use it like this so that when it goes, put it on, and when it goes on the page, I'm going to be putting it this way. And what you could do, you could make it into a bit of a tuck spot if you wanted to, by just gluing here and partly up there and putting in here. You could make it sturdier by putting some card inside as well. I'm not going to, I'm going to glue this down. So what I'll start off with, whoops, is just by putting some glue along here. I'm actually making, you could make this a double pocket as well if you wanted to, by leaving this open. I'm not going to, because I'm going to be putting it in like this, and I'll glue there and there, and I'll have some tags coming out so they will overhang the page as well. And then taking that bit of fabric, I am literally going to cover this in this fabric. Put it down like that. So to start off with, I will put some glue around the edge here. As I said, this is an extremely simple one, and anybody could do this with any fabric if you wanted to. Need this to just dry. Whoops, sticking to myself. Before I can trim it down. Okay, this has now dried, so I can now trim around the edges. I'm not worried about it being particularly uneven, and I don't mind if it hangs off a bit off the edge either. You just go round. I mean, as I say, this one is an extremely easy one to do. It's just, again, using up supplies you have. I'm using up some material that I haven't used in virtually since I got it, I think. So that's that one. And when you put it on the page like that, and then have some tags coming out here, or journal cards. So that's that. I also made this one earlier, a little pretty pink one with a flower. As I say, they're straightforward. And then there's this one I've made as well with the calling card in the back. And then also the one I showed you that you can actually stick down onto the pocket like that. So thanks very much for watching. I hope that's been okay. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.